Hello everybody, happy Fragment Friday, hope you are doing well out there. This isn't the first farming run I've ever done for an upload. This won't be the last. This is a bit of a special one here. Emus suggested to me a potential number of spears to help my long arm out, and one of the ones he mentioned was the Spear Core Mark III. It's got a pretty cool design. Originally when I pulled it up I found a Dot Hack Versus card image of it, and it just looked like a really awesome spear, and in game it is a pretty powerful weapon, so that's what we are going to be going for today. There you see some Japanese writing that I think tells you that this is the dungeon for it. I don't know, I can't read it, but that is in fact where we are at today. Got my Wave Master with us. Probably a good thing I do have the Wave Master with us. You can see we're getting an Inferno call. Make that 2 out of the first floor here. If you've never seen a farming dungeon before, you're probably wondering why it's set up like this. And honestly, I don't know the specifics of it. You see that first portal in the corridor, 4 Wood Maidens. Get used to that visual. This entire dungeon is nothing but clusters of Wood Maidens. Here's 4 more. Just so happens I've got Yarthkin's Fa on command, which is the highest level Earth summon. Elemental hit for them. Get a trap chest here, and inside we find an Earth Staff. So even if you didn't have anything to fight them, you'd stand a pretty decent chance if you got through the first couple portals and were able to use that weapon. As for why it works the way it does, though, these dungeons. Farming dungeons were put together on the Crab server. Snonami hosts a version simply titled Crab Server, and Dow also hosts a version called Hongik University Station. The Crab server was put together by a group of people led by Crab General, who's a Japanese player who still plays the game somewhat infrequently from what I gather. Gets to play from time to time. Also happens to host the Brambling website. You'll see that mentioned a bit throughout the Fragment community as a great resource center, especially for all things specific to Fragment. But what they did is they put together these dungeons whose goal was to be able to generate rare items out of the statue chest. See, I kind of flubbed up there. I didn't really have enough SP to cast a spell, and I just sort of let Wood Maidens go every which way. Wood Maidens, if you've seen my previous videos, especially over the last couple weeks, you'll know are kind of the bane of my Blade Master. They have a sleep attack and some pretty high damage wood spells. For my Wave Master, though, they're nothing. In fact, I started running this dungeon when I was level 56. I want to say we're level 59 here. 59 or thereabouts for this upload. I've run this a few times. It's a rather lengthy farming dungeon, honestly. Get to a little bend room here. You're not going to see any twists and turns here. It's all going to be a linear path. Of course, we are in a room that has a 90-degree turn, so I guess I'm not being completely authentic saying you won't see any. I just mean you won't see any branching paths or V-shaped rooms. Generally, if there's a special direction you need to go in a farming dungeon, it will be laid out for you. And the team, I do believe Dow specifically, has been kind enough to make sure that has been translated. If you need, say, the shortest path somewhere, or if you need to turn left for one option as opposed to turning right. Here you can see a fantastic close-up of the camera shaking as Yarthkins just piles 1,000 boulders in and still manages to miss a Wood Maiden. So we have to go clean that up. Actually had a lot of misses here. which surprised me because I also didn't realize I was hitting the point in my leveling where magical accuracy is kind of capped. So this is also the last run I'd be holding on to the Wizard's Bloods. I believe those are the ones that give magical accuracy. I'm subbing those out for Knight's Bloods to help with physical defense. See, I'm picking up 9 experience a pop off of those. When I started running this, and really for the first couple levels I ran this, I was getting 10 a pop off these Wood Maidens. That's 80 experience through most of these rooms, and that is crazy good experience gain for Fragment. Anytime you could get through a dungeon, keep in mind the farming dungeons, the fields are pretty much empty. So if you can get through a dungeon and level twice, you've done something ridiculous. And this is what I've been up to the last couple days. Pick up Happiness there. Happiness is a level 50 spear, and in fact, that level 50 spear has served me well for Grumbo Guy. But we could always improve and do better. And I think Spear Core Mark III would be just what we need to get us up into some higher levels. See, the buffs are wearing off a bit here. Pick up a Hellstorm out of that chest. And a Fire Lion hood. Four more Wood Maidens. Not gonna see a whole lot of variety in the attacks. Most variety you'll see is where I run out of SP and have to scramble for an Artisan's Soul. Because this run is so high above my actual level, I actually expected to go through a lot more in the way of consumables. I just mainly scoped out the dungeon to see how bad it would be when I tried to run it. And then when I entered the room, I'm like, oh, this is really doable. Kind of a pleasant surprise, especially as you get up into higher and higher levels and you find that level gaps you had previously been able to cover are much more challenging than they used to be. Picking up some buffs here on the 3rd floor before heading in, we get another 2 portal room here. One of these long corridors that thankfully has the portals spaced out rather than side by side. Can you imagine trying to deal with 8 Wood Maidens in one shot? Let's see, we get our level up there. I do believe that was to 60. That was either to 60 or 61, I can't remember off the top of my head. Either way, because I was a doof and chose the big giant Wave Master for flavor reasons, I've got the most minuscule SP pool possible. And I just barely have enough skill points now to justify an Artisan's Soul. Moving into another portal of Wood Maidens. Do apologize if the camera shake gets a little annoying. That's just how it looks when you're just inside the door. I guess I could have quick rotated the camera as I cast there, but I'm used to playing with the camera from behind my character, and I like it zoomed out so I could see the whole field. Kinda pointless when everything's a hallway, but it's just how I'm used to playing. Do see the nice checkerboard pattern on the tile there. Picking up Inferno calls like crazy. Coming up on yet another large corridor. Time to talk how to play Fragment, and if you need help learning to play Fragment, or even learning to set up how to play Fragment, .hack Network has you covered. Check out their website, .hack.org. It's got the fantastic How to Play Fragment guide. Erroneous created it in 2020 and made a more streamlined version, now with video accompaniment. In 2021, we'll have that linked below. Once you're set up, feel free to ask around on the Fragment tab there on .hack Network. Also, be sure to join the NetSlum Discord, the official Discord of the NetSlum lobby server. That's where a whole group of us hang out. It's also where you can see live progress on the ongoing translation and code renovation efforts. Still amazing how old and obscure this game is, and how much effort a group of people are really putting into this to make this come alive better than it ever was. It's just really been neat to see. Getting a couple chests there. Kind of a neat sort of Medusa-inspired look the maidens have. Get all kind of treasure around us. These dungeons can feel a little monotonous at times. Infamously, it took me like 5 days worth of running to get BT's wand as a gift from my wife, who I don't think has ever used it in-game. Yeah, I don't think she's really played since. Maybe just logged on once or twice, but yeah, I do believe that one made a, I want to say that was a Weekend Warrior, or maybe it was just a random upload. That was just aggravating run after aggravating run. On the bright side, the great thing about those runs is because the treasures that are dropped are so elevated, it's typically a very lucrative run, even spending consumable items to stay alive. See, my speed buff wore off, so I'm going to re-up that, and my magical buffs also would be going down around this time. Do believe we got a refresher on the magic accuracy up, so we were able to replenish that one before it ran out all the same. 4 more wood maidens down, that's 36 experience to our credit, and a risky treasure in front of us. One more plug, as I would be remiss to forget it. Fragment from the NetSlum, a wonderful companion YouTube channel to the NetSlum server. Got a couple great guides up right now on the telepatch, setting up the translation, and also the optional ability to get the English grunty food voices into the game. Check that out, and more to come. That will also be linked down below, as well as all of the relevant information for the .hack network and for NetSlum. So links abound here, which is great. That means you don't have to deal with my corny self in text. You just have to deal with it in voice. And thanks to the mute button, you could even skip that. Isn't technology grand? Took a pair of Yarthkins there. Don't know how I missed the left side, but I did. Pick up a treasure chest for our efforts, and we pick up the Fool, everybody's favorite treasure. Moving down to floor number 4 now. Get Aprio and Apruum. Thunder and water elements are boosted. Does not matter to us in the least. Again, we know what we're facing. The only difference here is aesthetic, as we get this lovely blue swirling sort of spot aura swirling around us and matches our robes, and it's a really cool effect. Oftentimes, that's one of the things I hate about the buffs, is you finish up and then you've got the little clock thing for the speed boost, or a sword coming out of your head for a physical buff, and it's just sort of sitting on top of your character the entire time. Maidens drop their heads, all pointing towards us. They're right in the middle. That's sort of a neat effect. X marks the spot, I suppose, and there's a resurrect out of the chest. 4 more wood maidens to bowl over, and we shall do so in one shot, or about 25 random guess on the number of rocks that are actually thrown over the course of that spell. Pick up a Divine Speed. That, I believe, is a Heavy Blade sword. Dropping more rocks here. Bunch of little ones as a portent to the big ones. And then a bunch of Wood Maidens because they just got hit with giant rocks. And that was so much fun. The last 20 times we'll do it again here. Again, you can see how just running this over and over again trying to get the spear is going to rake in some serious experience. There we pick up a Stream Sword. That's a Blade Master weapon. Moving along here. 4 more Wood Maidens and we are turning the corner. Take your obligatory RPG slow walk towards the treasures. 1 risky, 1 less risky. Risky 1 gives us a Stream Sword and the not so risky treasure gives us a Hellstorm. Pick up a Fire Lion hood shy of the door before moving on. Here we've got a middle-sized corridor with 4 Wood Maidens and a couple chests just behind us. Go ahead, open those up while we're waiting for the maidens to clear. Pick up a pair of Inferno Calls, and out of the chest we get an Inferno Strike. That was a lot of rapid talking. Slow back down now. Let's have Yarthkins drop a bunch of stones on the screen. We're shaking about like crazy. Now that we are thoroughly seasoned on all sides, we pick up a Fire Lion hood and almost pass up an Inferno Call. Taking a moment to let my skill points regenerate to the point of being able to cast the next summon. Because again, gold doesn't grow on trees, even though it could be farmed rather readily from this dungeon, and I do like to preserve as much of my profits as I sensibly can. No point in blasting the artisan's soul when I could just wait an extra second. Here's another Yarthkins to fill out a portal, and it looks like the speed boost is worn off. And our magic boost shortly thereafter. Go ahead, get those filled back up. I'm pretty sure Yarthkins could do the job at our current level, but better be safe than sorry. I know I just did that whole thing about preserving consumables. What can I say? I'm a complex human being. My favor shifts with the wind. Or maybe it's the fact that the bloods really aren't that expensive when compared to artisan souls. Your call on this. Completely bypass that chest. And this should be our last, yeah, all dungeon portals open there. That is our last battle for this particular run through the dungeon. Pick up a Hellstorm there. Now we are heading down to the 5th floor, which is everyone's favorite floor because there's no combat on it. Get a pair of Inferno Call there before the steps down. Surefire sign that you're almost to the chest. There's a Virus Core. Pick up a Virus Core A out of the crystal. And we get a Guardian Blade, a Divine Cross, and a Healing Elixir. Guardian Blade is a rather high-level heavy blade sword. Not really a ton of help to us, so we're going to go ahead, back up, and try this whole shebang one more time. Also, I promise that'll be the last time I say shebang, except for that time I said shebang, and the one right there. There you saw it right there, Spear Core Mark III. That's what we're after, that's our goal, and this is really a nice little color contrast that we just entered there, that nice bluish green inside the orange tower. I tried to punch up the colors here a bit. This is the actual color in the game, but I do find me recording sort of loses a little something. So I tried adjusting the levels. Hopefully it turned out fine. You'll notice throughout I've been doing little adjustments here and there. Had some audio issues in the past, and I do appreciate people pointing those out. You've been more than friendly in doing so, and it's been rather constructive criticism, and I appreciate that. The goal is to get better every time out. Personally, I think this looks darn good. I'll have to wait for the final render to tell myself. By then I'll probably be too tired to care. Get a risky treasure there. Front and center. Got some sprite hands. Nice little armor piece there. Yeah, we're just dropping rocks on things. And we just got ourselves another level up. Happy day for that. And happiness out of the chest. That was a nice moment for that. Almost looked like I knew it was coming. I didn't. I really should look ahead so I would look far more clever, but that was lucky timing. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this, and I didn't realize, depending on how quickly you got out of the gate, like I knew the maidens were sort of locked in place over the animation of the spell. I didn't think they were physically frozen at a certain extent, and then I looked right there, and in fact, them turning to me was halted when Yarthkins sort of popped into place. So that's a neat little thing to notice. Pick up a Hellstorm. Grabbing a pair of Inferno Call out of those chests. You notice I'm waiting till the second chest on that sometimes. I've noticed in a lot of cases here, those chests by the door have identical treasures, so rather than say it real quick and then have to go, no wait, there's two of them, I'm sort of giving that pause. There's a peek behind the curtain. Fortune Wire to the risky treasure, and we get an Earth Staff and a Hellstorm. Yarthkins just looks awesome. Big ol' rock dude. Two more Inferno Call, and into the next room we go. One of the 90-degree turn rooms, so only one portal to deal with here. Certainly had more than enough SP to deal with that, and by the time we get out of here, our SP should have regenerated enough that we could at least enter the next room soundly. Pick up a couple chests there, and got a couple by the door. Precious seconds building our SP pool back up. And we're able to cast that Yarthkins, and a little over 50 SP by the time the battle mode turns off. Kinda nice when things get rolling like that. Enter the next room a little quickly, and I should have hit an Artisan Soul, didn't quite do it in time, so the maidens got a chance to spread out a little. Fortunately, still in Yarthkins' range, so we're able to one-shot the entire combat through no fault of my own. Bit of sloppy play there, but the skill bailed us out. Getting an Earth Staff out of the risky treasure before moving on. Popping another summon. This one's right behind us, so you get a little bit of the camera shake due to the camera's proximity to the spell. If I catch that in front of the portal, you get that nice clear shot, and you get to see everything all nice and calm, just raining giant boulders from nowhere. Kind of like this. A little distance away. And oh, doesn't that look pretty. We even got the elemental hit, so you know that one wood maiden was dead about 8 ways over. Continuing on here. Some of these farming dungeons are really, really elaborate. And some of them are just, yeah, go straight forward, you'll kill a bunch of things. And like I said, some of them are set up for 2, sometimes even 3 different rares, depending on your path through the dungeon. How many portals you take out, what monsters you defeat. Really does amaze me, all the little variables that come into it, and the end result is we get to go farm for rares. Pick up some sprite hands and a Hellstorm. More wood maidens to come. Time to re-up the buffs. As you can see, we're still getting a sizable amount of experience here. 36 per portal. Made it to our stairs down, so the third floor is upcoming. Picking up an Vor, make that 2. See, I did it. I should have waited. Time for another Yarthkins. Just bludgeoning those wood maidens. No treasure for us, so we'll wait a second, make sure we have the 110 necessary to cast that spell. And do it again. Moving close to the door here, couple chests, get an Inferno call. Twice. 2 Inferno calls. Oh, that shaky camera. Again, I do apologize. Yeah, it's not like the camera's gonna rotate all that quickly anyway. Really, there's just no way around it. It's a portal just inside the door. Just kinda gotta deal with what we gotta deal with on that. Even without the elemental hit, the targeted wood maiden's taken like 3,200 damage. It's not escaping shy of a mess. And because I've closed the gap in level so well, they're not even escaping when I do miss. They're just kind of standing there waiting for the animation to end and being like, what was that? Moving to the next room. The nice thing about them being just inside the doors, you can catch those little moments where they're in motion on a nice close-up and really see the detail in the models, the different patterns on the robes and the little snake hair and everything. Again, really awesome looking creatures. Of course, I can't really tell if that's their hair or more of just a headdress or hat type thing. Either way, I've been cursing at him for like two and a half weeks now with my Blade Master, so it was nice to get in here and just be able to blow him out of the dungeon with a spell. Making our way through the third floor here. Picking up a stream sword there. Also got a Firelion hood and an Inferno call. All this is going to be money by the end of this. So I'll be chock full of things to help in later adventures. Time to pop a fortune wire there. Get an Inferno call and an Earth Staff. I think you can buy the Earth Staff as well as Happiness in the Net Slum Root Town weapons shop. I know you could buy Happiness there. I think you could buy the Earth Staff as well. Get 3 chests around us this time. See our fortune wires dipping near 60 there. I try to keep 99 on them at the start of the run. Just to give you an idea of the amount of risky treasures we've run into in now 1.5 runs here. This was actually my 3rd run of the afternoon here. My first run I got capture of, but it's not the best capture. I think I ended up getting interrupted about 4 times trying to, you know, get that run together, and with all the pausing and unpausing, it was just kind of choppy. Plus this was a good 30 some odd minutes, and I figured That would be enough. You get the gist. I'm casting Yarthkins a bunch. Once again, 4 Wood Maidens decked out in green, them being neon purple themselves. Really cool colorations, especially if you're a fan of, like, the Joker, the Batman villain. Time to re-up the buffs again. I think this may be the last time I have to do that. We're a good ways through the 3rd floor, so that's a pretty good guess. Seemed like 2 to 3 speed charms per run on this for me. And again, that's taking a lot of pauses to let my SP regenerate. Yeah, there's the stairs down to 4, so I don't imagine we would need one, and if we do, it'll be way at the end of the 4th floor here. Again, starting off with some maidens just inside the door here. One escape, you can kind of see that health bar, you know, blinking in and out as the camera shakes. So we're going to pop an Artisan Soul there, because it's definitely worth it to go ahead and take care of that as quickly as possible. Yet another moment where we end up missing a Wood Maiden entirely. But we got another level up. And our Wave Master, he's healthy. He's vital. He's got over 1,100 hit points. Finally over 260 SP as well. There we catch all 4 with the Yarthkins, and now we're down to just 7 experience per Wood Maiden. Not really a bad deal. That tells us that we're closer to even level with them. I want to say about 3 or 4 experience is where it feels about even. But you know, that's still not bad. That's 28 per portal. We're still getting over 50 experience from those rooms with the 2 portals, one and then the other one down the line. Definitely not going to argue with 56 experience per portal. Well, per room. 28 per portal, I just said that. Picking up a Stream Sword there. And knocking down some Wood Maidens here. Go ahead, hit another, and a big elemental hit there. Picking up a Hellstorm right by the door here, we've got an Inferno Call. So a couple nice fire spells to add to the old consumable list. Time to move into the next room, and we've got 4 Wood Maidens just waiting for us. Making the second leg of this 4th floor adventure. Couple chests fall from the Wood Maidens though, as we dip under 60 fortune wires, pick up a divine speed, make that 2. I suppose if you're running a guild and you're looking for weapons, you know, this is a fantastic resource, dungeons like this. Just go ahead, get your shop restocked. And if you're a new player and you haven't checked that out yet, go ahead and check out the guild shop, see what's still available. Got plenty of guilds, but I don't think too many have been active of late. So we tried to pick up a Resurrect there, and we've already got 99. I enter with 90, so, you know, 2 runs through, you kind of expect that. Taking out more maidens. picking up an Inferno Call, and a Sprite Hands before moving on, already up to 133 SP when we head down to turn the corner into the last leg of the 4th floor. Almost take all of the maidens out, go ahead and clean up the remaining one. Cost us an Artisan Soul, but we'll sleep better tonight knowing that that couldn't paralyze us. Well, actually, it would have put us to sleep, so I guess we could have slept pretty well right there. Aha. Get a Divine Speed, an Inferno Call, and another Inferno Call because I keep jumping the gun on that. One more, just inside the door, and now we come to our final portal. Can we take it down in one? For insurance sake, I'm going to cast Rhynak because y'all deserve to see something other than Yarthgans. And then Yarthgans. The summons just take him down with all the damage you could ever hope for. And there you go. Our speed buff wears off. Our magical attack and accuracy up are probably soon to follow. No, that's right. I think they stuck around because those were the 2 symbol buffs we got. Get a Virus Core K here, and let's go ahead and open up the statue chest. Did we get it? No. Another Guardian Blade. But an Artisan Soul and a Divine Cross to match it. That's gonna do it here. I think that's more than enough. If you get the chance and you feel like checking it out, I do believe there's a list floating around with the keywords. They should work on both Crab Server and Hongik University Station. You could see there, even with the buff worn off, my magic accuracy is at 97. Do want to thank you all for watching. Another Fragment Friday. You take care, and we will see you around.